Hello my Ali Pallies, and thank you for joining me today. Well, it's evening here today and I want to show you some new products that arrived on my doorstep, which I bought with my own money. Now, before I start, can I just say that never before in the history of me making these videos have I ever been so ambivalent about making a video. Don't get me wrong, if I really didn't want to do it, I wouldn't, because it comes across. But for those of you that have been reading my updates, the roller coaster continues, and my dad had to be admitted back into hospital by ambulance the other night. He gave me such a scare, and he's had a relapse. Can't go into a lot of details now, mainly because I don't know, but they're not discharging him quickly this time, let's put it that way. So I've been on a roller coaster of emotions and just back and forth to the hospital and dealing with Jack and trying to find time for myself. And I really want to get some makeup on, but at the same time I'm exhausted. And then I thought to myself, okay, I'm not up to Pat McGrath. So I know you've all requested that, and I've heard you, and I'm definitely doing it because I promised it to you. But please forgive me tonight for not doing the Pat McGrath tutorial that I promised you. It is coming, hopefully tomorrow, if not the day after tomorrow, okay? Don't fear, it's on its way. But I thought this is a great time to actually do a first impression video of the new Daniel Sandler blushes, the watercolour gel cheek colours, because you know what, Daniel Sandler's makeup is so effortless, and yet it just brings out your natural beauty without feeling like you've put on an awful lot of makeup, but it peps up your complexion quickly. So I thought, why not do a full face of Daniel Sandler? And I'm going to do a first impression. I've only swatched these on my hand so far. Okay, so let me just tell you a bit about this. So Daniel was bought out. You know that he's got the infamous watercolour blushes. If you haven't seen me trying them out, then or anyone else trying them out, what planet have you been on? Because they are marvellous. They're used by makeup artists the world over. Little pot that you shake, and then you tip some and you dot it on, or you stipple it on with a brush, and they make you look like it's just your cheeks. You've got no makeup on. They are fantastic. And then last Monday, Daniel brought out a new formula in his blush called the Watercolour Gel Cream Colour. And it comes in this really diddy little tube. So good, it just feels nice in the hand. I can't really explain why, but it just feels luxurious. And you know, his products are really reasonably priced. So this blush actually costs £16.50, but there's 10 mils of product in there. Now the amount that you're going to be putting on every day, I'm sure that this is going to last a long time. I've never run out of his watercolour blushes so far in that little box. Probably should throw them out because it says they last for 6 months. But Daniel, don't tell me off. I don't. I probably should at some point, but I haven't so far. These, obviously, they're sealed off in a tube. It's going to last you a long time, and you don't need a lot of it. And the whole philosophy of Daniel Sandler is about bringing out the best version of you. And again, not doesn't your makeup look good, but don't you look good? So I thought I'd do that. So today, or this evening, just to pep me up a bit and make me feel a little less worn out and a little less frumpy, I thought I will do a full face and a first impression of these two blushes, because I've got two shades. I've got Mango and I've got Petal, which are both recommended for my skin tone. I'm going to put a little bit of the Daniel Sandler foundation and concealer, and the concealer is nicely tucked in the top here of his bottle, so don't have to reach for separate concealer. And maybe, and I thought maybe what I will do on my eyes is to use, this isn't actually an eyeshadow palette. It's an illuminating face powder. But as you know, all together, girls, pigment is pigment. And you can put this on your eyes. So I thought, let's do a nice subtle look that's just going to make me look a bit more healthy and make me feel a little bit more human again. And I'll do a before and after photo to show you the results. Okay, so let's get going with this look, shall we? So if you want to skip to the end to see, this is going to be the grand finale, I'll put a timestamp at the end in the description bar after I upload the video if you've just come on to see this new product. Okay, so don't worry about that. Don't think, oh God, I've got to sit through all of her makeup. You don't. I'll put a timestamp, all right? And then I'll give you my opinion. I literally haven't tried this yet, and I'm so excited about it. And that's what's driven me to really want to get this video out this evening. All right, so let's get going, shall we? Okay, first on in, I'm going to use some of Daniel's primer. Now, this is the Silky Skin Pro Finish Primer, or am I? No, hold on a minute. I nearly forgot that I also ordered a tiny little sample, which you can get on his site. You can get his foundations, you can get a lot of things, samples of his watercolour blushes as well. This is his new primer, which is an anti-redness primer. Now, I wasn't going to purchase a full size of this because I don't really get that red, although I do feel quite flushed this evening and I'm definitely a bit menopausal. But I don't tend to have high colour in my cheeks. So, but I was just intrigued to try it. And so what better time to try it? Now, if you do suffer from rosacea, or you just have a lot of high colouring in your cheeks, or you're at that age where you're going through the menopause and you feel flushed a lot of the time, this is recommended for you. Okay, it's got a green tint in it. Now, the difference between his two primers is his original primer, which I just showed you, is a silicone-based primer, which evens out it smooths and it evens out pores and fine lines, and it's also got vitamin E in it. It's got a bit of a vitamin C in it, and it just is very good at smoothing out and giving you a really good base before you put on your foundation. This has got more ingredients that are going to tackle redness and have a cooling effect. And I definitely could do with a cooling effect tonight. I keep getting really cold and then really hot and then really cold and then really hot. So I turn the heating up, then I need to turn it down. I just can't regulate my body temperature. So I'll be interested to see what this is like. And I'm just going to put this on a little bit with my fingers. Now, if you're not sure about this or his foundation, the really great thing is that you can get these little samples to try before you buy the full size. And it does feel very cooling on the skin, I have to say. Now, obviously, I'm rubbing this in with my hands. So you're going to say, well, actually, she looks a bit redder. But don't forget that when you rub anything in with your hands, for a minute or so, it's going to look redder because you just rubbed your face. But the idea is that it was going to take down redness in the skin, which I really don't have a lot of. So just excuse me for a minute. Let me put a bit on that little red dot. And thank you to the lady who gave me a really in-depth comment. You know that I'm bad at remembering names, but one of my viewers sent me a really long message about how to cover up this ridge thing with the glasses. So thank you so much for that. I've got to go and look back at that because I'm going to give it a go. And I'm going to put a little bit more up on my head because I think I'll put more on my cheeks. Definitely feels very cooling and very moisturising. So I'm liking that. As I said, I'm not sure I would need to get the full size of that because thankfully I'm not really, I don't really get red. But if I did, I think that would be really good. And it definitely feels lovely and moisturising. Let me just, doesn't have a smell that I can detect. So I thought I'd use that for a change. But if you've got visible pores and fine lines like these ones on my head, then try his original Silky Skin Pro Finish Face Primer. Really good. Right, and now I'm going to use some of his foundation and concealer, and I'm just going to get myself a brush and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got a Tarte brush here, foundation brush that I'm going to use today, and I'm just going to dab some of this on. Now, this is not super high coverage. This is natural skin and it's very buildable. Now, you know, a lot of the time I say I like fuller coverage, but tonight I'm quite happy with a light coverage. I just want to look like a better version of me, and I'm not that interested about really looking ultra flawless in terms of no skin underneath. You know, this is going to show up your skin, but it's just going to minimize flaws. And silly me, I forgot to do the photo, the before photo, but never mind. Told you my head's all over the place at the moment. I'll screenshot my beginning hello so that you can see that. And this feels nice and cooling on the skin as well. Now I'm using the shade Honey, and the concealer that's in the top is also Honey. So when you get this foundation, I'm just going to dot a bit more over my cheeks, because I always do, and it's a habit. When you get this, it will be the same shade in the concealer pot. He doesn't do one shade lighter for under the eyes. He does the same shade. Aha, that's better. It's just where I've been a bit naughty with sunscreen recently, and I've got a bit more pigmentation popping through around that area. That's fine. And then I'm just going to use the concealer in the top with my fingers. And I ordered another. He does these concealers separately, and I ordered another one, a single concealer for my sister, because she'd run out. And my sister uses this every day. She loves it. And my sister uses the same shade as me, although she's slightly fairer than me. Again, if you need to test out what shade you are in his foundation, you can buy a sample. And the foundation shades and concealer shades are the same. So if you're wondering what concealer shade you are, you can get a sample of the foundation and try it out. And that will be the same colour in the concealer. And I'm just going to put a little bit around my mouth. It's looking a bit light, actually, the concealer. But because the foundation isn't too high coverage, it's looking an okay shade on me. I definitely picked up quite a bit of a tan towards the end of the summer. Okay, so that's that. I'm not going to put on any powder because I'm using this gel cream, and I think if I start putting it, holding up the wrong one, if I start putting it over powder, it might not work as well. So I'm just going to leave the powder off. And anyway, I quite like the glow it's giving me. Okay, so I need a bit of glow. Definitely need a bit of glow. So now I'm going to get the Radiant Glow palette, and I'm going to put a little bit of that on my eyes. I've put it down somewhere. Just hold on while I just get myself together and find what I need. And I'll be right back. Okay, so do you know what? I'm actually going to mix the gold and the pink, these two. I'm just going to put them on my lids. I'm not going to do anything really intricate on my eyes tonight. I just want to open them up and look a bit more alive. This is such a versatile palette. And it's interesting because even though I mix them up, it looks like I've put that in the crease, that one in the crease and that one on my lids, because it's just reflecting that way, even though I've mixed them up. Now you can make the gold really pop, and I'm going to show you how, because I want my mobile lid to pop a bit more, just to give me a bit more eye brightening. And you know how I do that is to just apply the shimmer with your fingers. So I'm going to take a bit of the gold, this gold, with my finger, and I'm just going to pop it on with my fingers like that. And Daniel has heard me say this so many times before, but it's true. No one does gold like Daniel. It's a proper gold, and it's so pigmented and so beautiful that it is stunning. And I'm going to pop a little bit with my pinky in there and in there. And then I'm going to take this top shade here, and with a smudger brush, can I find a smudger brush? Yes. With a smudger brush, I'm just going to take this top shade here, this highlighter shade, and just pop some of that under my brow. And then I'm going to just take what I put, a mixture of these two again, and just take it underneath. Okay, I'm just going to do some mascara and quickly do my brows, and I'll be back in a second when I'm going to be using the new watercolour gel blushes. I can't wait. Okay, I'm back. So I've put a bit of mascara on, I've done my brows, and now it's time for the new blushes. And I am really that excited because having swatched them on my hands, I just love the feel of them. So we've got Mango. These come in 4 shades. There's 10 mils in each tube, and they cost £16.50 each. I'm going to have to check out the shades, but I got Petal and Mango, and I'm going to just tell you what the other 2 shades are. Okay, the lightest shade is called Nectar, and that's for fair skins, and then the darkest shade is called Berry, which is for dark skins. And these 2, Mango and Petal, are recommended for medium skins. So I've got these, and I did double check with Daniel, and he said Mango would be great for the summer, did he say? Which way round did he say? I can't remember. I'm sorry, Daniel. He said one of them would be good for summer and one of them would be good for winter. And I think it was Mango would be good for the summer and Petal would be good for the winter. And he said also if you mix them, they'd look really good. So do you know what I'm going to do? Because I'm not going out. I'm going to put one on each cheek so you can see both of them on me. And you can tell me which one you prefer. And I will also swatch them on my arm for you to see the lightest part of my arm so that you can see what it's going to look like on fairer skins. So first on in we have Petal. And Petal is this beautiful pink, but it looks a bit peachy pink, but on my finger. But let me just swatch it here. So I'm going to do a sort of thick swatch because it's like gel. So that is Petal. Okay, and then let me just show you Mango. Mango is got definitely more of an orange. You can see next to the Petal, it looks more orange. Okay. So I'll put a photograph here and then I will get going and put these on my cheeks. Can't wait. I'm saving the best till last, you see. Okay, one of the reasons I'm really excited about this is because I love the watercolour blushes. I really do, but sometimes I think if you're just playing around with them, because they're liquid, I think some people find them sometimes a bit fiddly because they're a liquid. And I just love the idea of the same thing in a more of a cream texture. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit of Petal. Now, I've taken a tiny amount and I'm still not going to put all that on my cheek. I'm just going to dip my other finger in it. And I'm going to start building if I need to. Because his blushes are very highly pigmented. Okay, and I'm going to build some more up. These are lovely. I really like that because it's everything that the watercolour blushes are, but it just blends so much easier than the watercolours. I'm going to put all of that on. I think I need the colour tonight. So that is Petal. I'll build some more up in a minute, but let me now put on Mango. Now, I'm sorry, I've got one side in the dark, so I'm just going to move over like this so that you can see it in equally good light. And again, I'm going to put a little bit on the tip of my finger and then dip my finger into it. And this one is more of an orange. Yeah, I can see why in the summer this would be nice. It's still nice now, but it kind of enhances a tan. And it's peachy, so again, pigmentation spots. Anything that's peach is going to take down the look of pigmentation. And I reckon I will want to mix these. Just get the rest of that. Just gradually building it up because I haven't used it before. So I just didn't want to go in too heavy and then look like a clown. But I think it would be quite difficult to do that with this formula because it is so easily blendable. So that is Mango and that is Petal. So I'm going to build up a bit more so that you can then, I'm going to take some shots of each side so that you can see it. So I'm deliberately putting more on than I need because I want to take some photographs and so that you can see the difference between the two in case you're considering purchasing and you're not sure what colour to get. Let's build this up. And before I go, I'm going to do one last thing with these blushes. Right, I think that's suitably built up that side. Yes, that's going to show up on camera. Because I'm sitting here in the dark, I've got my studio light on. But I wanted to make sure that you can distinguish which one you prefer. And then back in with Mango. Now I reckon, I don't know what Daniel says, but if he wants to comment underneath, I reckon you could mix that in and with a bit of concealer and use it as a colour corrector. Mango. Tell me what you think. Mango. And Daniel, if you're watching, sorry I called you Mango, but let me know, do you think that's a good thing, good way to use it? Because I think it would be a good colour corrector. Okay, petal, mango, petal, mango. Let me know which one you prefer. I'm just going to take some shots of both cheeks and I'll be right back. Okay, so before I go, you know my philosophy, pigment is pigment. That's my catchphrase, and it's certainly Daniel's philosophy. He often talks about how you can use things on your eyes, your lips, your cheeks, and he does mention on this that they can also be applied on the lips. So I can't wait. So I'm going to try them both so that you can see what they look like. So first on in, I'll go in with Petal. Lovely. Let me just see if they build. I'm sure they do. So you can have a wash of colour, or you can pat it on to have a bit more colour. So that is Petal. I'll take a photo and I'll be right back. Okay, next on in, I'm going to put on Mango. Okay, and I'm going to do what I did with the last one and pat some on to build it up. I'm not sure about that one on my lips. I think because of my colouring, it's not what I would normally go for, but I do like it on my cheeks. So I'm just going to take a photograph of that one and I'll be right back. Okay, one last thing before I go. Because Daniel said these are going to mix really well, and I haven't got any more cheeks left to show you what they look like, I will do a swatch of the mix together. But I thought, do you know what? I'll mix some together and put it on my lips so that you can see what it looks like. So this is Mango and Petal mixed together. Now, the other thing is that the deeper shade, I was considering getting that, and I thought it probably is a bit too dark for my cheeks. But if I like the formula on my lips, it might be something to consider as a kind of lip stain. So I'm going to test these for the next few days. I might actually try out the darker shade on my lips. Okay, so I've mixed roughly half and half here. So what it's doing, because one's pink and one is, I think I put a little bit more mango in there. So let me just add a bit more petal. Because I've mixed orange and pink together, it's going to give me a lovely coral lipstick. And whenever I say coral, I think of Linda. Hello, Linda. Because I know Linda loves coral. So I'm going to put this on my lips. So there is the two mixed together. I'll do a photo and I'll be right back. And I'll give you my conclusion. Okay, let me know which one you prefer. I did just check back because Daniel did message me and he said this one is better for summer, this one is better for winter. So this is petal, this is mango, and I agree. I prefer the look of this on me at the moment, but I can see how in the summer, when you've got a bit more of a tan, it will bring out the tan in your skin. So, and I like the mix on my lips as well. So those are the watercolour gel cheek colours. Now, do you know what? I love these. I do. And I love the fact that they are more stable than the watercolours. So they are a lot easier to blend. So if you like the watercolours, but just didn't get on with the fact that there are waters rather than a cream, you're going to love these. As I say, I think I prefer petal at the moment. What I would say in terms of this, I can see myself carrying this around in my bag because I don't know about you, but maybe these don't wear off. I haven't done a wear test yet, but with pretty much most blushes, I would say, I feel that they wear off throughout the day. Either that or I get paler throughout the day, which is also possible. And I always feel like I need to touch up my blush throughout the day. And I can see myself using this a lot in my handbag to go in and quickly touch up my blush. You know, I'll use it as well to make myself up, but I can see that sitting in my handbag and being used a lot for that. And I think a lot of Daniel's products are things that I do that with. You will see my Daniel Sandler lipstick sits in my dressing gown or in my handbag. It never makes it to my makeup bag because it is my, oh, where's my Daniel Sandler lipstick? It was the one thing that stayed in my handbag during my move when all my other makeup was in a crate. And I can see that with this because also the fact that you can dab it on your lips, and I did like petal on my lips as well. I can see that sitting in my handbag and quickly sitting in a mirror and quickly dab it on with the fingers. Oh, I've got a bit more colour in my cheeks. So I think it's a really useful product and I love it. And I knew I was going to love it. I love the formula. It feels really light, but it also just looks like your skin. Look at that. It doesn't look like I've got makeup on, and that is the beauty of Daniel and his eye makeup. So I hope you've enjoyed today. I'm sorry if I sound a bit scatty. I probably do, and really apologies if I do, but I'm just so glad to be talking to you. And I'm sorry about missing the lives the last couple of weeks, you know, unforeseen circumstances. I can't wait to join you live again. I will try and fit in a live before next Wednesday. At the moment, it's really difficult to commit to a particular day or time because I just can't predict what's going on with hospital visits and everything else. But rest assured, I miss you so much that either way, I'll either be putting out videos or I'll be doing a live as soon as I can. And stick with me. And coming up next, definitely, that Pat McGrath look with the red lip. All right, so see you all very soon. Take care. Love you all. Mwah!